I'm pulling some shit from the Akashic records right now. I'm trying to go to sleep. But lately, I've been having this burning question. Trying to figure it out. I'm trying to go all the way back to the beginning. Or maybe not that far, but back to the Kemetic period, Egyptian period. Kemetic period. I'm trying to go back to the pyramids. I'm trying to go back to the beginning, but not to the beginning. So like to the beginning of civilization. I'm trying to go back to that, trying to figure some things out. Like my burning questions have been, okay, the pyramids came, and my question is, are the hieroglyphs and the stuff on the pyramids, is that the only thing written down that was left from them? Like the only thing that they left were the hieroglyphs and maybe some tablets. But it seemed like it was all in a temple or pyramid, so or even a library. I don't know. I had to do more research. But is that the only form that we have to know of them to study? Because even then, we still don't know the language or whatever. But that's my question. Is that the only thing that we have from them? I question that because, well, of course, even as black people, whatever, we couldn't read or write or whatever. So you would think, so yeah, in the past, so maybe every man or every civilization, they couldn't read or write either. So only the people in the higher ups, like the pharaohs and their librarians, they were the only people who could write. See, that right there is already suspicious or limited. So that would mean they control the entire narrative. It's like, as of right now, the government, since they were the only ones who could read and write, and they kept their people not able to, which means they controlled that narrative or painted the history however they wanted to be left behind for us to find. Like the governments. Because like I said, even as slaves, we couldn't read or write when we came over here. Or when it come to written or writing stuff down, there's only a certain people, like a shaman or people of a village, that could write. Or if we ever needed to write, I'm thinking stuff written down, thinking about like us as black people or African people. Did we really write stuff down? I'm thinking, like, these are burning questions I've been having. Like, of course we know about stone tablets and stuff like that, but that shit was buried and preserved. But still, it questions because we know that there had to be civilizations and people just like us, right? And they were so advanced, like the Egyptians, the Kemetans, and they were so advanced, but their people couldn't even read or write because it was like, where are the toys at? Like, or where are their books or people's, like, where are their documents? Like anybody, like you can find, like let's say like right now, like everybody has a cell phone now. So in the future, if somehow cell phones survive or something, there's something that people can pull from individual people or households or something. Like if I've written down, there are books and I can write something, or in the future. You sort of get what I'm saying? Like, where are the people's thing? Like, they right now, like, where are regular libraries? You would think, because we would think of, well, if that was the case, then we would have a whole lot to go off and know about their history. We would be able to fully speak, and everybody would be able to read and write their language, right? If we had that much text. If everybody, like, the people below, all the normal people could read and write, right? Or had tablets or wrote on walls or could. So that makes you think even further. So that's not the case. And what is it? And it crossed into my mind too. I had a thought I've been thinking about a while, is about talking itself. Because as of right now, I'm in a stage of where it's time for me to talk. But as I think about energy and just talking, I think like, how much energy it takes to talk, just to talk itself, how much energy it takes. Like imagine like, you're real tired, you've been playing a sport, or you've been running all day, and then you sit on that couch after you're real tired and you try to talk, or you sleep, you wouldn't be able to talk. I don't feel like talking. Or you talk, yeah, right? Because you can barely talk because it takes a lot of energy. It takes a certain amount of energy itself just to talk. And I be thinking shit like, well, damn, if it takes energy. So it's like, so imagine if saying words or talking or exerting a lot of energy from your throat chakra or from a certain amount of chakra just by talking and singing produces even more energy. So imagine doing that. Well, but speaking actually drains your life energy itself, or especially if you don't restore it correctly, even just by talking, or for people like singers and stuff, or entertainers who talk a lot, like real outgoing people. But I'm like, that could be sort of as a case to say why a lot of them died at a young age. Not all, but some of them die because of exerting that overexertion of their energy just to talk and actually speak and project. Like, it takes energy, and they don't rest, and they don't recoup like they should. Shit, it takes a wear and tear on the body because you use a lot of life energy. Anyway, so that brings me to that, and put it all together with another point that just came to me. I was like, I don't think the people talked. Like, I don't think the very early people talked or needed to talk. Oh yeah, there's also another thing too that needs to be added to this before I even go into them not talking, is the point of like what Bobby Hemmings says. He was saying how when people name stuff, he loses energy. Like when it comes to music, like jazz or rock and roll or whatever. Like, we didn't give it those names specifically, but when you name it, it gets to lose its energy, which is why we always have to create the next thing, right? Like whenever you create that energy or that music, whether it be the blues, like we didn't call it the blues, but we were singing the blues because we were sad, but we didn't exactly call it the blues. And usually Yang, who calls it and names it something, and then kills its energy, and that's when it starts to die. So that's why we had to always create something else, because when we do something, they come in like, yeah, it's the blues, or they come in, yeah, this is jazz, or yeah, this right here is rock and roll, and this is soul, and this is disco, and all that. It's hip hop. Now it's hip hop or whatever. So, and that shit is starting to die out. Pretty much dead. Like, you see what I'm saying? Or rap. But now that they're into it and they acknowledge it and name it, they take it over and they end up killing the shit. But that's with anything, whatever they name. And I was thinking too, why is that so? What it is that they do or what it is they're doing? What the difference is with that is that they over analyze things. And listening to certain people and their lectures, I'm like, when you really think about it, your natural sense, your common sense is really all you need. Now, there, of course, everyone shouldn't be on the same level of thought. There should definitely be more people with higher intelligence to help move the other people forward. But as I realized and listening to other people YouTube videos, to lectures, like how many ignorant niggas really are out there, and how many people like me, is not really a lot of us. But there's so many ignorant niggas out there that are not on our level. It's like, damn, there's a lot of us. And I really just don't waste that energy. Don't want to waste that energy. Talking to my cousin has confirmed that he's dealing with that and realized, like, damn, like, why these niggas not on this wavelength? It's just so many niggas like that. But get back to my point. It's but yeah, when they name it, they kill it. But yeah, they over analyze things, like when it comes to science, like and numbers and stuff, like they over analyze it, like, well, this is not just a tree, it's a fig tree. And you go into it, this is the bark, and you go into it even further, it's made this, and then you calculate it, you gotta put the water, all of this is called dehydration. Not dehydration, but all this is called photosynthesis, and they got to analyze it. Everything has to be explained by science. Everything has to be analyzed to a T with Yang. Everything has to be analyzed. Oh, what is it? What type of dance move is that? What do you call that? And see what they do, even if they learn somehow to do it, then so they had to teach them or they had to analyze. So you move your hip to a quarter inch this way, and then you move your hip quarter inch to the left. And then you sway to the beat. Even with sheet music, I don't even like sheet music. I have no ties to that. I don't even have a reason not to like sheet music. But sheet music is an example of that. Them trying to overanalyze music and try to, like, how do you write down music? Like, oh, like, how do I write down music and then have someone else come later on and be like, yeah, this is how he played it. Da, 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 da. And how long he played certain keys and how he felt. Like, how do you do that? If that's even possible. It is possible, I guess, with sheet music. But to me, the idea of it is bogus. But that's the thing. That's the point I'm trying to say, is that they overanalyze things. Whereas what has happened with us as a people is that since we've grown up into their society and into their culture, that we're teaching ourselves to overanalyze things because of how they teach us. And so our mind automatically becomes like that. But when you become conscious, what do? We break from that. And as you continue to break and break, because you realize the shit they're teaching is bullshit or it's not even necessary. Most of it is not even necessary. So when you break from your consciousness and become woke and you build your awareness level, all you really doing is seeing beyond the bullshit and really oversimplifying things. When you really, I'm telling y'all, when y'all journey, really, when you go out there, you do all your studying, all your reading, all your traveling, and do all that. When you circle all around, I'm going to tell y'all the secret of what everyone should end up to be, which is pretty much just a damn Tibetan monk or a old hermit in the woods. The perfect being, all your ultimate teachers, everything you learn, pretty much the only way to be fully spiritual and one in the universe is to be like an old monk in the woods or old Tibetan monk. So people out there who totally devote their lives to nature and spirituality. That's really the ultimate way. Y'all want to talk about how y'all guides and consciousness, and you go further, you learn about, the earth, and then you learn more about real spirituality, like tapping into the Akashic records and meditating and chakra. You know what? That's what they do over there. We're pretty much breaking ourselves from this society and everything that Yang has taught us and pretty much going back to our spiritual selves. If you really want to become guys that really become fully spiritual. That's how really all your teachings and stuff you learn about Egypt and that and all that stuff, even whatever it is you feel you've learned or what it is you thought you learned. It all comes down to energy. And that's what they focus their lives on, is energy. But that's not even the point I wanted to make. The whole entire point was about thinking about the beginning of civilization, and when you add everything to it, it's like, I don't think they talked. Why? Because it takes us a lot of amount of energy, which we probably didn't have access to, and plus, we didn't overanalyze everything. We didn't need to say, that's a tree, or that's a dog, this is a bowl, this is water. You didn't know. We just know. It's just simple. You just go, when you're hungry or when you're thirsty, you know what, you go over here to this river to get this water. Hey, that's a creature over there. It's playful. We don't need to know it's a monkey. Maybe we did have names, but when you really think about it, it was probably a civilization before we learned how to speak where we just didn't need to. Because it is what it is. We learn to live in harmony. So I'm thinking maybe if there was the Anunnaki or whatever who came from another dimension and were bigger than us, that's probably why they ruled or whatever, or were able to dominate over us or the people that were here, was because they could speak. But they spoke because they were huge and they speak. It scared people, and it probably did kill people because we grew up in a damn near a silent world. So hearing someone talk that's bigger than you and saying that and just speaking, saying words, whatever they said or whatever, and especially the tone they speak, like, it's very frightening. So they probably ended up killing people, right? Because we're not even used to that type of sound. Like, imagine the whole world is deaf, nobody spoke. This is the way of life, everyone knows that. And then these people come from another dimension, huge as fuck, and then they just start talking like I'm talking to you right now. It would scare the life out of people, right? Literally, it would scare the fuck out of you. And then this is where it comes in where they have the word of God. So there were people who weren't too frightened, who were able to talk, or to be like who weren't startled enough to their heart to where they died, to were able to accept and understand and say that, to be able to approach the guides and listen to the guides. And he learned how to talk from the gods, and they were the word of gods, and they taught that to the people, and then the people learned how to talk, and we began to speak. So yeah, I think so. I'm pulling that from the Akasha record. That was the beginning of civilization. So the beginning, we didn't even speak, and I want to hear. I want to know if any of the elders or teachers have spoken about that. I think that's very important, because we are going back to it. Imagine how much life force, if everything I said was correct, no matter how long you could live too, based on that. Or think about it. Think about every movie or depiction you think of an old ass hermit in the woods. Think about how old they are. Ain't they always old? So how they end up old? Because they don't fucking talk to no damn body. They save all their energy. And that's how I feel like now, me doing all this talking. Like, I exert a lot of energy. Like, I always felt that way. Like, damn, talking takes a lot of energy. It takes a lot of energy to talk. And I'm not used to that. Y'all tell me what y'all think.